I am setting up on my other side. I think the way that I had my iPad set up before was like because the camera was on this side, it was really distorting my face a lot. Not that my face isn't distorted because it is, but I think it was really accentuating this side, and I promise I'm not like the Wicked Witch of the West on one side. So, yeah, I'm gonna try something different. But I don't know how to look at the camera because I feel like I have to look at eyes in order to like speak. So we're gonna try this out. But what I wanted to talk about today was the throat center in human design. This is something that I have really been focusing on for at least the last year, but really like the last couple of years because so I have a defined throat. I have the channel of awakening. It is from the throat to the G center. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. So I have the channel of awakening, throat to G center, and that channel is fully subconscious. And I know this might sound like a bit of a cop out, but sometimes I really just cannot control myself. And I'm a little embarrassed about this, obviously. But sometimes I really can't control myself. And sometimes, like, words just fall out of my mouth, and my mind is like, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. And I said it anyways. And to my understanding, like, that's really how it should be operating. And this is why I'm saying that it kind of sounds like a cop out. I'm not saying that that I have the right to always be like rude and funny. But if you're wondering if if you saw my last videos and you're wondering like, is this an online personality or is this how she really is? It's how I really am. And anybody who has ever worked with me in any capacity will tell you I'm literally always just this. So, and I believe it's because of this unconscious throat channel. I'm really not that attached to what it is that comes out of my mouth because sometimes I don't really feel like it's me. So I obviously have gotten in a lot of trouble in my life for that. People really don't like when you speak the truth. And I'm not the kind of person that's a bully. I'm not a bully. I'm not just gonna come out and like just straight up bully someone. But if something needs to be said, you can bet I'm gonna be the one saying it. And I've just gotten myself in a lot of trouble because like sometimes I literally cannot stop myself. I cannot stop myself. It just happens. So, where was I going with this? So, in the last 5 years, I have gone through this really weird issue. I don't even know if it's an issue. Just this strange experience with my throat center where sometimes I feel like I just cannot speak. I have nothing to say. I have become a mute. I cannot even muster up the strength to say a single word. And I used to be able to sing, and in the last 5 years, I literally have forgotten how to sing. I don't know how to sing. And most of the time, it feels like just too much energy to even try to do that. So I just have not been pushing the issue. But why am I even talking about this? I don't even know why I'm talking about this. So I had to take a moment of silence, a 5-year moment of silence. I haven't been sharing myself online in any capacity for the last 5 years because the company that I used to work for, I spent a lot of my time barking at the wind. I really did. And for anyone who might find this that is a projector, you know that when you are just going on and saying what you see to people that don't want to hear you, you're just wasting your energy. You know this. And I was at a point in my career where sometimes I enjoy the fact that people might not like me. So I was just being as annoying as possible. That's not my favorite trait about myself, okay? But that's the truth. Sometimes I really just love being annoying. So then once 2020 happened and everyone had to get online and say things about certain people and groups or whatever, because if they didn't say that they supported it, then they were going to get canceled. And I felt like I was at a crossroads. I was like, I could be the one to stand up and say some shit about this. You know, I could be the one to step up and speak the truth. But I was so tired because I had just spent all of this time working at a job where I was saying all the same things and was not being heard. And so instead of being the one to stand up and say, not that I don't think that being a person online, like even me, like I'm sitting down, I'm not standing up and saying the truth right now. And I want to make that distinction. But I just did not have it in me to come forward and speak the truth like I normally did. It was like something in me had just switched and it was like, shut up. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna shut up. And sometimes just shutting up gets really comfortable. And I've wondered when I'm going to come forward and speak again. I mean, I haven't really been pushing the issue because I understand timing and I know like it's not forever. I'm not going to be in mute forever. But I have felt like I need to come and speak now. And I'm having a hard time getting this out because this has been a sensitive topic for me. My expression has always been a very sensitive topic for me because like I said, sometimes I can't control myself. And because I can be in certain situations where I cannot control myself and I just say what needs to be said right then, because there have been people in my life that know that about me, sometimes I can find myself saying something and then like, even if I'm just sharing my own experience, people will take it very personally and think that I'm like covertly attacking them. Like, I had a friend and I was saying, you know, I used to always think that if I was just speaking my truth and somebody couldn't take it, then, you know, fuck them, whatever. But I've learned in my age that it is kind of up to me to be aware of how what it is I'm going to say, what it is I'm saying is going to land. And there is truth in that. But sometimes I also just can't control myself. And I just don't like to like skirt around things. I just don't like to. Like, let's just lay it all out on the table. Give it to me straight. And sometimes people just don't like that. So they think that I'm attacking them, and that's not the case. But sometimes I will have people in my life that just are highly offended by me. And I'm like, I don't really understand how me sharing what I'm going through turned into you taking it personally. Like, I don't even know where you fit into the equation other than you being on the receiving end of like me telling my experience. I don't know. It's a strange dynamic. Could be because in my throat channel, I have the 20.5 and I also have the 10.5. So I don't know. People are they just take the things that I say really personally. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. But so my friend made this necklace for me in January. And I just thought it was so like special and cute because, you know, I probably wouldn't have chosen this color, but for some reason it just felt so perfect and beautiful and just, I don't know, like I'm just very touched by it. Like she handmade this. My voice is getting a little weird even like bringing this up. So she gave this to me and then I like wore it every single day for like a whole month. The whole month of January. And then I had a situation where I said something to somebody that I know and then they got really offended. And then it kind of sent me into a spiral because I was like, I just don't fucking know how to express myself. I don't know how to express myself. I don't know like what is me and what is not me. Because if I feel like I'm just sharing my experience and then someone is taking it personally, like what is me and what is not me? I don't understand the distinction. I really don't. So it sent me into this crisis and I spent like a lot of January in a crisis. And then I don't really want to go into details because I really don't want to cry today. But my dog, she ended up dying in January. And she, while she was dying, I was with her the whole time. It was like the whole day she was in the dying process. So I was with her the whole time. I didn't leave her side. I didn't eat anything that day. I just was with her. And like as she is like taking her last breaths, she started to get a little stressed. I could tell that she was getting stressed. She was scared. And I just held her little head. And I just said, it's okay. Go. And as soon as I said that, it's like as soon as I said, it's okay, it was like her stress was gone. And she just let go. And it really moved me because I had just been in this experience where my expression was like hurting other people. And then in this moment, my expression was what offered her that comfort. And it just, it unlocked something in me. I mean, obviously, you know, experiencing a death is going to change us, you, me. But in my last video, in my last video, what I was saying is that you need to be with what is in your life. And I do really believe that the way, like just looking back on how everything worked out, how everything that week panned out, you know, I'm like having this crisis about my expression. And then like right as she was dying, it was my expression that comforted her. And it is really like such a, it's so confusing because I don't ever have the intention of harming anyone, but sometimes my words can come across in that way. And my mom loves to tell me that my words are biting. But it just, I feel like this necklace was like a symbol of that. You know, how perfect is it? A necklace, like the throat and this color blue. You know, not that I follow like the traditional chakra system or anything, but the throat chakra is blue. And I just thought it was so perfect. Just the timing of it all, the timing and the way that life unfolds like that. And I've really, since my sweetheart died, I have really been working on coming back into my voice and my expression, because even though my words have been hurtful, my words can also heal. And it's not just me, you know, all of our words can heal. And we're in a time in the world right now where we need to use our voices, and we need to use our voices not in a way like, I'm not saying let's be keyboard warriors. Like, I just don't believe that that helps anything. But sitting down and talking as people like this, you know, I could go the whole marketing route. I could create a personal brand. I could position myself as a leader and have you think that I have information that you want and you need to pay me all this money for it and whatever. I don't want to do that because I'm not above anyone else. I am on the path of learning just like everyone else. And just because I might be like a little bit ahead of some people doesn't mean that I'm above anyone. And, you know, like, I love human design and I love astrology. Those are my systems. And I just like, for me to be the one that's like the keeper of the information, that's one thing. But like, I'm here to show you that you have to take the information and you have to apply it to your own life too. Like, how does it show up for you? How do these things show up? For me, with an unconscious throat, I don't know what is going to come out of my mouth. And maybe that's a cop out. You know, maybe I don't want to take accountability for some of the shit that I say. And maybe sometimes I just think I'm really funny, and I'm not. But there is, like, the words that come out of me most of the time, especially when I'm talking to someone else, they're going to be the things that someone else needs to hear. And if I shove that down and I don't speak that because I'm afraid that somebody's gonna take it personally, like, you know, like, what are we missing? I would rather say what needs to come up and not think about it. I'm not here to think about it. I'm here to say it. And this is my intention with these videos, is like, when you can align with people that you resonate with, it's not going to matter what it is that you're talking about. Because if we are aligned, if you watching this, you are aligned with me, even just me just saying what's coming out right now is going to touch something that's going on in your life. I don't need to come at you like I'm this, like, know-it-all master and you should trust me and you're not going to get the information. You know, I'm the keeper of the keys, you know, that's not the truth. I can show you how to apply the information and how I apply it in my own life, but I'm still a person, okay? I'm not above anyone. So I want to do things differently. I don't want to just like make this personal brand just like everyone else has. There are people out there who just want to sit down and just have a conversation, and that's what I would rather do. If you think that they're the only valuable people are the ones with like the perfectly produced setups and, you know, the website and the perfect branding and all of that, if that's what you think is valuable, then maybe you should be assessing like what it is that you're seeing. I could do all that. I don't want to. I don't want to put my energy into that. Maybe one day, but I need to be honest with where I'm at. And I just don't care about that. So I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't know where I was going. But check your throat center in human design. Do you have a channel or do you not? And is it conscious or is it subconscious? You know, like, how does that show up in your life? How does that show up in your expression? Another thing that I think is going to be really important is Uranus is moving into Gemini, and Gemini is all throat gates. So as soon as Uranus moves into Gemini, I don't look ahead this much, but I just know that all of Gemini is throat gates. So that means on a collective scale, every single one of us is going to have Uranus activating a throat gate for us. So what are we going to be seeing in the world? We're going to be seeing a lot of fucking talking. We're going to see people talking more, talking more, talking more. So, are you going to be talking about the things that you think you need to be talking about? Or are you going to be speaking from the heart? Like, this is what we have to be aware of. Am I talking about what is present for me right now? Or am I coming on here with an agenda, saying something that I think people want to hear? And you need to be able to learn. You need to be able to learn how to discern that. You need to hear that. Is this person talking about what is current? What is coming from the heart? Or is this person telling me something they think I want to hear? This whole throat center thing, this is going to be huge in the next probably 7 years, like over the next 7 years, as it goes through all the gates of the throat. So if you're someone whose throat is subconscious and you're going to have this activation, you know, you might find yourself expressing yourself differently. You might. We don't know. But the way that we express ourselves is going to change. It has to, because of this activation in the throat. Anyways, I think I'm done. I really just don't even know what I just talked about. So, yeah.